Dreams come true, and that's why we are here. It's another episode on Creative Mind with Heritage. Right here with me, I have an ace broadcaster who has actually been broadcasting for the past 20 years. As a matter of fact, this is someone I've always been eager to listen to her show when she was in Splash FM. And right now, I have the opportunity to interview her. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me here, Heritage.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Mrs. Ronke Giwa-Onafuwa. Thank
you for having me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Can you please run us through your background?
Okay, let me see. All right, I studied English at the Lagos State University.
Okay.
Then after that, I studied music production and performance at the London Centre of Contemporary Music.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I came back home to serve. And I found radio basically. I actually came back home to pursue music.
Okay.
However, I just found radio and I have been a broadcaster ever since.
Why did you decide to go for that radio itself? Like, okay, let me just, you could actually quit at a point in time and say, okay, let me just go back to music.
Yes. Well, I think I had a different conception about music when I was living in the UK. I just thought I'll get here, I'm talented, I'll find, the right management, and but I realized that music is a business in itself. And I think that's why a lot of upcoming artists are still struggling, because people think it's just about talent. And I think with anything, talent is not enough. You must know the business side of things. And I didn't know the business side of it. I didn't know there was marketing, A&R, and all the different things that make you a superstar. So when I came here, I thought, okay, I'll get into radio to sort of be the window that would help me get into music. But I've just stuck with radio.
You're stuck with radio. Yeah. Okay, can you share a memorable event that happened and you were like, oh, I love this and I'm so proud to be a broadcaster?
Oh, lots, and still so many. I think I was doing radio. I started radio because I just felt like, oh my goodness, I'm a creative. This is where I can sort of, just be myself. So I didn't think I wanted to be a superstar. I wanted to be known. I just found a space where I could be comfortable and just be creative. But after a while, I'd go to places and people would tell me things like, I listened to you on my way to school and you were the reason why I decided to study mass communication. I listened to you on my way to school and you're the reason why I decided to stay away from trouble. So these things, I think that more than anything else humbles me. I've seen people who are doing amazing, now as adults, and they say, I'm who I am now because of just listening to you in the morning. And that gives me so much.
Your breakfast show is I remember, like, every now and then I listen, like, who is this woman? Who is this woman? The way your English, your pronunciation, everything was just so on point. Like, who is this woman? How does it feel like being in an industry filled with men?
Actually, it's odd to hear that. That broadcasting is an industry. Yes, we have a lot more men now. And I'm sure with everything else, actually, everything started off with men being in it. But I don't ever feel like I'm a lady. And I think that's I never feel yes, I work with people in production and I never feel like, oh, I'm a lady. I just carry myself with grace. I do and they see that I'm when it comes to the work, I'm 100%. So I don't do it like, oh, I'm surrounded by the men. And I think that I guess I've been able to carry myself with so much respect that it doesn't feel like, oh, they have issues, answering to me, especially when I'm leading a department full of men. So I've never felt like, oh, I'm a lady in a male-dominated industry. I just do the work.
You just do your thing.
I just do the work.
All right. Has there been any negative feedback or how did you handle criticism?
Criticism, I always tell people that, and I think for me, when I'm not getting criticism, I'm always thinking, okay, am I surrounded by people who are afraid to talk to me? Or because I think no one's perfect. Not every journey in your life and at every juncture, you must have people who must be able to tell you didn't do that well enough. Because when I don't find people who are telling me you didn't do that well enough, I get frustrated because I know I can do better. I can always do better. So for me, criticism is welcome as long as it's done constructively. Obviously, there are times when I've been criticized in a very destructive way. Destructive criticism sort of belittles you, makes you feel like you can never be good enough. But constructive criticism makes you feel like you can do better, you're doing great, and you can just do it a little differently. So for me, I have been destructively criticized, and it really just made me feel like, I could never do it. But when it's constructive, I always feel like, what, I can do better. So for me, criticism is always welcome.
Okay, I love that. And now back to your social media page. I think there's something about your social media which I love so much, which is your presence. You've been able to create an image for yourself and say, oh, I am right here. Ronke Giwa is here to stay.
I'm here to stay for a long time.
Now, give me the secret. I want the secrets.
Are you sure you want to know the secret?
Yes, I want to know the secret. Ronke Giwa every now and then.
The secret is authenticity and consistency. I say this all the time.
Consistency is easy to say than being done.
I know, but just do it every day.
How?
Just do it. If you don't show up tomorrow, show up the next day. That consistent. We think consistency is show up every day. To be honest, I don't show up every day.
Okay.
But if I don't show up tomorrow, I will show up the next. I'll show up badly. I'll show up well. I'll show up nicely. You don't have to show up perfect. And that's where people get it wrong. They think they need to show up perfect. I don't show up all face made up all the time. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But one thing I will do is show up as myself. I will not pretend to be anybody else.
Okay.
One thing I will do is show up as myself.
Okay. And if there's one thing I have to say about your post again also is your caption.
Huh?
It's something entire, like you're gonna learn something from your every post you're posting, your caption, it's always on point. I'm like, okay, let me resonate with this. And I love it. Yeah. How have you been able to handle this whole social media buzz, Ronke Giwa, your personal life and your professional life?
Someone always says balance is a myth.
Yeah, true.
Balance is a myth. You cannot achieve
50-50.
Absolutely. So you do whatever it is you can do today. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm general manager of, where I work. I do a lot of things. I run NGOs. But what I do is sometimes I may not be able to show up for these two things. But if what I am today is able to show up for my kids, I will show up 100% and I will be present. Tomorrow I may not be able to attend PTA, pick them up from school. But whatever it is I'm doing, I put 100% into. So I just make sure that whatever I can do, I do. And I don't feel too guilty and put myself down that, I'm not a great mom today. I'm not a great mom today, but tomorrow I'll be a great mom. I'm a great general manager today, but tomorrow I may not be a great general manager. I do whatever I can do. And I realize that balance is a myth. And so I juggle the balls that I can. The ones that are plastic balls, I throw them away. And I make sure things like motherhood, I make sure I keep them in the air.
You omitted something.
Yeah.
You're a writer.
Yeah,
Your 2 books, right?
Yes.
How did you tell me how you were able to actually perfect that?
I know, right? I am an author. I'm a 2-time author. And for me, when I wrote that book was the time when, I just felt like, it was radio. I wanted to do more. One thing about me, I always feel like I can do more.
Okay.
I can do better. So anytime I find free space, I'm always someone that's very, always love being busy and very restless. So when I find a free space, I'm always thinking, what can I do within this free space? And I think that writing happened at the time, when I found that space, especially for Lara's Lessons, which was my first book for adolescents. I wrote that when I felt like, it was just radio and this. And I just felt like I was still restless and I needed, that time, to be used diligently. And my second book, Lulu Learns, I wrote with my daughter, who's 7 now. I tell her a lot of stories. I still take my child to bed every day. When I'm not around, yes. But at least 90% of the time I take her to bed. And when she was much younger, I had to tell her a story before she could sleep. Okay. So I have hundreds of stories. And so we decided, both of us, that this story that we came up with that helps young children to learn to speak up and to be confident, we could publish it. And so we published that from our stories, during bedtime.
Thank you. If there's something you have to tell yourself while you were young, what would that then be?
There's this trend that's going on about how I took my younger self to coffee. I'm still going to do it on social media. But
I got that.
If I can take my younger self to coffee, I'll tell her, what, all the things you're worrying about.
The anxiety, the fear,
anxiety.
What's tomorrow going to be
like?
Will
you marry? Will you have kids? Will you... Yeah, you got married, you have kids, you're doing very well, and, I'm glad for all the brave moves that you made. Those moves that you made, not because you were actually brave, but because you were pushed to the wall, but you had to jump off the wall. You jumped and God made sure you landed very well. So to my younger self, we're doing fantastic. And to everybody else that's younger as well, I know anxiety, telling you not to be anxious about things is just, you will be anxious. Even at that age, as a mom, I get anxious for my kids. So different level, different devils, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you that, you know what, you just keep believing, keep making courageous decisions, and trust me, keep being as consistent. You will get it. Everything that you dream about, it will come. It will come.
Why am I seeing myself as a younger version of you? Like, I'm seeing myself, you're advising me directly.
Yes. Just imagine your life in the next 10 years. Keep imagining and keep taking one step towards it. Keep doing the things that person would do. For example, you're the CEO of a production company. What would that person do? That person will wake up early.
Yeah, true.
That person will read books. So you want to know, that person will read about technical things. True. So start doing it now. And trust me, in 10 years, you will become that person.
What do you think about broadcasting, the media space? What do you think about the future holds? We have social media, we have content creators, we have a lot of things, the radio, TV.
And
people are really coming out right now. What do you think about it?
And I love because there's conventional media, there's digital media, and there's space for everybody. I don't think that digital media is going to push traditional media out of it, but I think that digital media is the game changer. I always tell people that nobody needs to be on radio anymore. Nobody needs to be on TV anymore. Your phone is your TV. Your camera is your radio. Start a podcast and start a vlog. Everything that's created. Even for example, I always tell people when people say, "Oh, don't use ChatGPT," don't use. It's like saying there's a TV here. Don't use the remote control. Someone came up with a remote control to enhance our life. So same way, digital media is here to enhance your life. So nobody should be afraid of AI or afraid of. Just master it, learn it, and use it to enhance whatever you do right now. Don't stay in the dark ages and say all of these things they are from, learn them, master them, and use them to enhance what it is you're ready to.
If there's something I like to ask my guests, it is, what should I go for, passion or money? Which one would you go for?
You will need the truth. But
why?
Because I always say, passion is good, but passion without money, but passion will bring money if it's done right. But passion alone is not enough. You must learn the money side of your passion. Or else, that's why we have struggling artists, we have struggling people who paint, and they're still struggling because people refuse to learn the money. So you need a balance. However, I'll say money first. I'll go for money first, save a bit of money, then I'll use the money to do what I'm passionate about.
To follow your passion, right?
Yes, that's all right. Because money is important. I like money. I like to look good. I like to do the things that make me happy. I like to travel. I like to eat good food. So without money, I'll be totally frustrated about my passion. So money.
You consistently want the soft life.
Yeah, I'm a soft girl.
life.
I am a soft girl. Through and through, I am a soft girl.
Okay. So what's next for Ronke Giwa-Onafuwa?
What's next for me? I just became general manager of a TV station here in Ibadan. I'm excited. It's the biggest one. And I'll say in Nigeria because I haven't seen a bigger one.
Okay.
So for me, it's just focusing on building that brand and continue to build my brand. Because I always say whatever is going to take away from my brand, I'm not going to do it. My brand comes first. All right. So I like that I'm able to do my thing and do what I do as well. So build that brand, continue to build my brand to a global stage, write more books. I want to write more books. I want to mentor more young people.
Like me?
Yes.
Women in media.
Yes, women in media. Do you want to have a women in media?
Yeah, true.
Like Southwest.
A kind of group.
We should, yes. I have like a cohort, like a mentorship program that I actually do. It's virtual. So I have right now I have 40 people in that mentorship program. So I do that twice a year. So I want to do more mentoring, do more writing books, do more traveling, do more enjoying, raise my kids, and do great things. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Heritage.
I enjoyed this short period of time with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and that was an amazing section with Ronke Giwa-Onafuwa. I hope you've been able to pick one thing or the other from it. Till next time, I remain your host, Heritage Oyedepo. Bye.